Well, we're here in a different room, perhaps a room that some of you haven't seen before. This is where the Altar Guild stores all of their things for the sanctuary. Well, not all of them, but a great deal of them. And you've seen inside this chest all the coverings that we have, beautiful coverings for the altar table and the pulpit. It just kind of reminded me of the way God provides in so many different ways. And it took me back to Genesis, the very beginning of creation. And I'm reading from chapter 2. This is what many call the second recording evidence of creation. And here's what it says, starting in verse 7. Then the Lord formed man out of dust from ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. And the Lord God planted a garden towards the east in Eden, and there he placed the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground the Lord caused to grow every tree that is pleasing to the sight and good for food. And the tree of life also was in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So I won't read on. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that story of the Garden of Eden, God creating that beautiful place, perfection. He was pleased with what he had made. He makes the man. And of course, a little bit farther on in here, we have the making of a woman to be Adam's, what it says here in the New American Standard, his helper, but in reality, I think it's his workmate. In other words, someone called alongside of him, suitable for them to be a pair, to be together, complete. In other words, that Adam was not complete without a woman, and so a woman completes man. And what a good story that is. But I think the efforts we have as Christians today is really what we want to do is get back to the garden. That's our desire. And I think that it's because of Christ's death and burial and resurrection that it's leading to that point where a revival will take place in the land, and people will once again be committed in their hearts to share this great good news that God has a new heaven, a new earth, a new Eden, if you will, a new garden of beauty where he wants us to live with him forever. And so what's going to happen is all in the future. And yet the fact that the curse that was put upon this beautiful garden, the fact that Adam and Eve had to be expelled from that garden, all of that has been taken care of through the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. But the total cleansing of the curse will not come until the very end, when Christ returns, and evil will be put away forever. And so it kind of reminded me when I was thinking of this case behind me that contains all these beautiful things, that's where they get put away. And not to say that they are in any way like the evil that's going to be put away, but that God is going to put away those things that are against us even today. And so that once the curse is totally erased, once again, we'll be back together in a paradise of God forever. And I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping every day that we'll hear the trumpet sound and we'll be back together with him. Until that great day, God bless you all.